Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Khairul Faisal bin Tahir, and with all my teammates, Anissa, Syatwana, Zulaika and Nur Hidayati. So in this video, we would like to present our lab case MIC254, which is the product that we choose is farm fresh milk. There are a few contents in this video. So the first one is background farm fresh milk, objective why you choose this food, choosing stage of farm fresh milk, problem in milk process, and the way to solve the problem, and the last one is conclusion. Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Khairul Faisal bin Tahir, and I'm the presenter of this topic, which is the title Background of Farm Fresh Milk. Introduction. Farm Fresh Milk Sdn Bhd is a company based in Malaysia with its head office in Johor Bahru. It operates in the animal production and aquaculture industry. Farm Fresh has two factories operating in Muazzam Shah, Pahang, and Larkin, Johor. Johor, where the plant production capacity reaches 12 million litre a year at an estimated 1 million litre per month. It was founded in 2009 by Lu Tuan Yi and now by 30% of Khazanah Nasional Berhad, a Malaysian government investment arm. So here a little story about Farm Fresh Milk. They started the company on basic farmers market. Farm Fresh Milk has been established for 30 years. The company's operation covered the full breadth of the dairy value chain. They produce 21 milk-based products with the variety of flavor like chocolate flavor, strawberry flavor, and grape flavor. Farm Fresh Milk Company has been assigned a program by the government under NKEA EPP 13 under agriculture sector led by Department of Veterinary Service, which is aims to reduce the dependence of imported fresh milk into Malaysia. So here is a founder story. The founder of this milk company is Mr. Lu Yi, which is born in the small town Perak. He has a deep respect agriculture and love nature. He noticed that many of Malaysian brands that made from milk, so he decided to purchase a small land in Johor and import 16 Holstein cows from Australia to setting up his Holstein Milk Company. His dreams is only one to produce fresh and pure dairy just as natural intended. So in this map that was show a few branch of milk company, which is Farm Fresh Milk.
Hi, my name is Nursyazni binti Safwan. I am the presenter for this part, which is objective. Every task or work that we do had their own objective, just like how Farm Fresh Company. During collaboration between UPM and Farm Fresh, UPM Vice Chancellor Professor Datuk Dr. Aini Idris said this project is significant to enhance the dairy-related learning and research process, including pasteurization, livestock, feeding and upkeep, milk handling and processing, product development and distribution of dairy products in a real modern production environment. While Farm Fresh Operation Director Azmi Zainal said they also want to showcase modern farming technologies in our Turner barn system and paddy cultivation. Hopefully, this initiative will make the younger generation be more inclined towards agriculture. Good dairy farming practice make it safe, quality meat produced to be consumed by humans. Other than that, the objective of manufacturing and processing fresh milk, firstly, good milk produced by healthy animals using management practices that are sustainable from an animal welfare, social, economic, and environment perspective. Provide a farmer-oriented guide to practice that are achievable all over the world, covering those areas that are essential to manage. The use of agriculture and veterinary chemicals. Milk processing allows the preservation of milk for days, weeks, or months, and helps to reduce foodborne illness. It is packed with important nutrients like calcium, phosphorus, vitamin B, potassium, and vitamin D. Plus, it is an excellent source of protein. Drinking milk and dairy products may prevent osteoporosis and bone fracture, and even help you maintain a healthy weight.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nursyazni binti Muhammad Zain, and I'm going to present about the Choosen stage of farm fresh milk, which is the manufacturing and the packaging. There are a few steps of processing to make this milk. Start from their farm to the factory and lastly to be sold to the market. The process are milking, pasteurization, homogenization and cooling process. Farm fresh milk produce fresh milk and use milk from their own cow. Type of cow that they use are American Holstein Jersey. To produce fresh and quality milk, cows will be fed with farm-grown grass to ensure a healthy and nutritious natural diet. Firstly, they will do milking process. They milking the cow at their farm using a breast parlor machine. Before milking the cow, they clean the cow first to make sure that the milk is not contaminated with the dirt from the cow. After milking, the cow's nipple and machine will be disinfected to prevent any contamination. This milking process is done neatly and cleanly. Milk that have been collected will be brought to their factory to continue with the next process. After milk arrived at the factory, milk will be drained into pasteurized machine. Pasteurization is the most common form of heat treatment used in milk. Pasteurization is a process to increase milk safety for consumer by killing any harmful germs that may be present in milk. Other than that, pasteurization also increases keeping the quality and shelf life of milk production. There are different types of pasteurization processing method based on the temperature and time of pasteurization process. For farm fresh milk, they use method batch pasteurization or also known as low temperature long time LTLT pasteurization. Milk will be heated at the temperature of 63 to 66 degrees Celsius for only 30 minutes. The extended holding time will cause the alteration in the milk protein structure and taste. After pasteurization process complete, milk will be drained into homogenizing machine to continue with homogenization process. Homogenization is a process to break up fat globules in milk to extremely small size of particles and distributing it to uniformly throughout the milk. Milk will be placed into homogenizer machine in a high pressure to break up the fat globules. This process is to prevent cream layer to rise on the top of the milk and to keep up the quality of the milk. By this process, the fat and liquid will stay evenly mixed. After that, the milk will be drained into exchanger machine to be cooled. This process are called cooling process. At this process, milk will be cooled at the temperature of 4 to 10 degrees Celsius. This process is to kill any microorganisms that need to die on high temperature or during pasteurization process. After that, milk are ready to be packaging and then will be sent to the supermarket. During all this process happens, milk are never touched by human hands to prevent contamination on milk, as human hands also have microorganisms. There are two types of farm fresh packaging, which are in the bottle and in pack. Milk in the bottle are fresh milk, while in the pack are ultra high temperature UHT milk. The difference of this packaging is, in the pack packaging, the milk are pasteurized on ultra high temperature for a very short time, which is for only 4 to 5 seconds, while in the bottle, which is fresh milk, using batch pasteurization method. UHT milk have a slightly different taste than fresh milk due to the different type of pasteurization process. After the milk are ready in the packaging, milk will be sent to the supermarket by suitable lorry that complete with good equipment that able to maintain the temperature below 4 degrees Celsius to maintain the quality and the freshness of the milk. Usually, the time taken for farm fresh milk to be sent to the market only takes 48 hours starting from the process of milk production from their farm.
Next, I'm Nursyazni binti Muhammad Hilmi will explain about some problems in milk production such as in farm fresh milk production. If the milking practice done by machine, it maybe can happen when the soil equipment and failure to clean and disinfect it prior to milking. It can lead to direct contamination of raw milk with pathogens. When the contamination happens in milk, it can cause the milk to get spoiled very quickly. As we know, the production of quality milk is a very complicated process. So, this milking practice need to do in the right way and make sure the milk is in healthy condition. The next problem in milk production is contamination due to failure to detect abnormal milk, or we call mastitis. The main bacterial species that cause mastitis in dairy cattle are Streptococcus uvibris, Staphylococcus aureus, and Escherichia coli that we usually call as E. coli. Usually, mastitis pathogens are found in the oral tissue, spreading from cow to cow, or in the herd surroundings such as breeding materials, manure, and soil. We need to know that milk from animals with mastitis cannot be used for human consumption because it has altered chemical composition and organoleptic properties. We can know that the abnormal milk that already having mastitis by see the change in color, presence of clothes and plates. So, we can detect either the milks are normal or abnormal. If normal, we can take the milk. If abnormal, the milk cannot be used for the next process. Mastitis is considered as a major cause of economic loss because mastitis also will decrease milk production, decrease milk quality, and discarded milk. The next problem is contamination through milk storage and pasteurization. As we know before, production of quality milk is a complicated process. So, not wilt when we need to sterilize anytime the milk is transferred or stored to prevent the contamination. If we not do like that, bacteria can grow rapidly in the milk and can cause the milk become contamination and the milk cannot be used again. Actually, pasteurization use process in milk industry to kill harmful bacteria by heating the milk to a specific temperature for a period of time. But bear in mind, the process not kill all the bacteria. If this process not doing wisely, it can give bad effect to consumer. The effect that can happen to consumer are like diarrhea, vomiting, and stomach cramping, or Guillain-Barré syndrome that can cause paralysis. Guillain-Barré syndrome can happen due to Campylobacter jejuni that can found in the raw milk. The last problem that I have found in milk production is bacterial contamination from inadequate cleaning and disinfection of milking equipment and bulk milk tanks. The cleaning and sanitation of milking equipment could be considered as a most important process in the milking procedure. Cleaning failure will influence the level of bacterial contamination of bulk tanks milk. The process need to do in the right way and need to take serious about the duration, water temperature, turbulence, percentage of water in pipes, water conductivity of pre and post rinse, and lastly is detergent phase. First, we need to know that the maximum water temperature needed is must between 42.1 until 9.9 degrees Celsius. However, for the percentage of water during detergent phase is 76.1% until 13.9%. Lastly, the maximum temperature of detergent phase must be below than 40 degrees Celsius. If these things not be taken serious, it might cause the bacteria not be killed and it will become harmful to human and will give bad effect to human when they drink the milk. That's all for me for the problem in milk production.
It's me again, Shazwana, but this time I'm going to share about how to solve the problem that was on the previous slide. Okay, firstly, freezing, canning, and dehydrate. Freezing is the least time-consuming method for long-term storage, but it is also the most energy-dependent one. Milk can be frozen in many different containers, jars, plastic freezer container, and they perform much like the fresh version when thawed and used. If you are using farm fresh raw milk, freeze the cream separately. Canning milk is one way to preserve your milk and save energy at the same time. It will keep for a long time on the shelf and will taste like any canned milk available from the grocery store. The dehydrated milk has a longer shelf life than the milk preserved by pasteurization and refrigeration. Milk from which part or all of the water has been withdrawn is termed concentrated or dry milk. Secondly, stringent cleaning, sanitation, and preventative maintenance programs. To identify farm management practices that are linked with low level of psychotolerant spores in bulk tank milk will offer additional insight into controlling spore former entry on the farm. This requires specific cleaning and sanitation NPM. Additional research in the area of spore former control should include developing cleaning and sanitizing agents targeted toward destruction of spore formers, improvement of material used in processing facilities to retard the attachment and formation of biofilms. prevention of spore formula entry into the fluid milk continuum through the understanding of transmission pathway on the farm and in the processing facility, and development of novel, rapid methods for detecting low level of spore formula in various dairy products. It will act as a model for the rest of dairy industry as quality issues encountered from mesophilic, thermophilic, and anaerobic spore formula continue to emerge.
Okay, next is practice of hygiene meat production. Hygiene production of meat is important for the safety of consumer. In the Ethiopia, there is no standard hygienic condition followed by producer. During meat production, the hygienic conditions are different according to the production system adapted practice level of awareness and availability of resources dairy product. The quality of raw meat has been found to influence the dairy product. The key factor for quality dairy product is to avoid contamination of the raw meat and meat production. Unfortunately, raw meat provide an excellent medium for microorganisms grown over a wide temperature range. Psychotrophs bacteria at temperature below 7 degrees Celsius, mesophilic is bacteria at 25 to 37 degrees Celsius, and thermophilic bacteria after heating to 16 to 18 degrees Celsius. Thus, to ensure food safety and public health, hygiene control is critical and involves hygiene, dairy farm practice, dairy processing, and not least how consumer handle the meat. Effective handling practice during meat is important and necessary element to product safe and suitable meat and meat products. Failure to maintain educated sanitation practice have been shown to contribute to contamination of meat with undesirable or pathogenic microorganisms or chemical or physical hazard. Because quality of dairy products are easily affected due to different factors of which performance of milking procedure and cleanness of the milking utensils and equipment are the major one. Poor hygiene introduce education bacteria that cause the meat to get spoiled very quickly. To ensure that raw meat remain fresh for a longer time, you need to practice good hygiene during making and when handling the meat afterward. Production of quality meat is a complicated processing, and effective hygiene program should begin at the farm. Especially meat hygiene practice has interest is preventing the transmission of disease from animal to man, preventing the transmission of communicable disease of man to man, preventing disease of physical defect that may arise from malnutrition, and improving the nutrition status of man in general of infant, children, and mother is particular. Cleanliness of the premise, personal, animal, and equipment will not only protect public health by reducing the risk of maladies. Reduction in maladies is the direct also result is improvement in milk quality measured by the somatic cell count (SCC) in the meat. Good quality raw meat must be free from debris and sediment from all flavor. Low is bacterial count, normal composition and acidity, free of antibiotic and chemical residues, safe for human consumption and free from disease-producing microorganisms. Higher is keeping quality, higher is commercial value, can be transported over long distance. Therefore, good hygiene is essential whether the animal are made by hand or machine. This requires that the milk, hand, and clothes are clean and her or she is a good healthy. The milking machine and milk storage equipment such as milk john are kept clean and are in a good condition. Ultimately, after making, the meat must be cooled, preferably to 40 degrees Celsius. This requires mechanical refrigeration for meat goods. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nursyazni binti Rahim. I will present a conclusion of Farm Fresh. Okay. In a conclusion, Farm Fresh for aim to increase fresh product consumption, nutrition, knowledge, and preserve healthy. The reduction is chronic diseases such as obesity, diabetes, and hypertension are at benefit of successful implementation of the program. The overall goal is to see a 14% increase is in reported produce consumption community-wide. All level of planning must do their part to incorporate situational analysis, alternative goal and plan, goal and plan evaluation, goal and plan selection, implementation, and monitor and control into the organization to achieve the desired result and the good result for Farm Fresh. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.